Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Incompetent Nerds. I'm your host, Tank, with Mark and D. What's going on, fellas?
So, what's up? What's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling?
So today's topic, we're going to chat about the fight that happened over the weekend, Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. But let's talk about the true star of that fight, Jake Paul and Nate Robinson.
The legend.
The glorious
legend
memes that came out of that.
Put respect on him. Legendary.
The legendary Jake Paul.
The legendary undefeated Jake Paul.
And when we were actually chatting about this, offline, but after we talk about that, Mark put up a good point, and we're gonna move on to that. So let's kick it off first. Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. Wow.
Wow, you watched it?
I watched it. I watched the whole thing.
How much was it?
It was $50, but
oh my gosh, they saw you coming.
No, here's the crazy part. I wasn't gonna watch it. Me and D were talking about it. He was like, I ain't gonna watch it. What happened, D?
Yeah, I spent like $49.99 to watch it. Yep.
$50.
Yeah.
So where do you guys go? Like, where do you even buy pay-per-view? Like, I don't even know how you do that.
Well, I bought it through it's the website called Tiller, and I'm pretty sure that, Tank doesn't want to get arrested, so he's acting like he paid for it, but it's all good.
Really? I bought it on Tiller too. I was trying not to, but I bought it on Tiller too.
Hey, good job, pal.
But yeah, there was 4 fights. The first two were good. I enjoyed them. The third fight, which was like the what do they call it? A pre-event fight or something like that? The pre-event fight, pre-event.
I think it's called like a prelim.
Yeah, that was with Jake Paul and Nate Robinson. That one was like, what the hell?
Oh, it's a great match from the legendary and it was the legendary undefeated Jake Paul.
He won?
Yeah, because he's the world's greatest boxer.
Nice. All right. Take it easy.
He can beat anybody he wants.
But what I want to ask you guys is, who watches boxing anymore?
Right. Yeah, not a lot of people really watch boxing anymore. I think UFC kind of definitely took over the fighting fans. I believe it's either the UFC or a lot of people still are fans of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that the people who like to watch fights, they mostly watch UFC or they watch wrestling now. What do you think, Tank?
What I think about it is, for one, boxing has kind of started to like have a downfall in terms of its entertainment value.
Why?
Here's one thing. So I'm gonna use Mayweather as as an example for the current time.
Mm-hmm.
He went undefeated. He had this he has this pride and this attitude, as undefeated. Nobody can beat me, so forth and so forth. And a lot of people always wanted to see him fall. And every time they pinned him against somebody, he always came out on top. And there's nothing against that. Trust me. I was one of the people who just said, I want to see this man fall on his ass. I want to see him knocked out. I want to see him lose. But every time, he will win. And I think before professional, he did lose. But that's every boxer. Then once he went professional, he just started winning.
Mm-hmm.
And I think because of that, folks are just like tired of seeing like undefeats, especially undefeatables that are like, in terms of their words, is like like not humble. Always gotta have this attitude and all this other stuff. They want to see those people go down, but they don't. And then you have UFC, and where I don't think there's like a couple people, right, D, that are like undefeated.
Yeah, you have Israel Adesanya. You have a woman named there are a group of people that are undefeated. It's not a lot of people, but
Yeah. But in the UFC, I think a lot of people are seeing it as a lot of these folks could, even an undefeated, could get knocked down within 10 seconds and lose the match.
There's more upsets.
Yeah.
That's wild to me because, like, in sports, you always like, you want to see the guy lose, but like, you also, it's like we build people up, and then we don't want to tear them down, or like we do want to tear them down, right? Like when we talked about The Last Dance with Michael Jordan, like everybody loved Michael Jordan, but then like with that 6th title, was like, oh yeah, I hope Utah like finally beats him. You know, it's like, what are you guys doing? You know, it's like, I think boxing, like, obviously people like fighting. I think there's still money in it because like you two knuckleheads paid for it, which like I would have never thought you would.
True.
But like, why? Like, if people still pay for it, why is it so unpopular? Is it because, like, another theory I have is like, it's like everything's on Twitter and like a 24-hour news cycle, so it's like I don't have to pay for it. I can just watch people's Twitter comments and memes, and that's like equally.
I'll watch it the next day on YouTube.
Right.
Because somebody's bound to upload the highlights of it. To follow up with that, it's exactly what you said, but there's also it's names.
Yeah.
When you have like certain names, like for example, a Mayweather fight, everybody, the whole world is watching a fight. Mike Tyson, Manny Pacquiao, Miguel Cotto. These are fighters from, the past 10, 20, 30 years. So it's just like people, these people who saw these guys fight and enjoying their fight. Can you imagine De La Hoya decided, like, I'm going to go up there and fight again? The man is pushing 50.
Right.
And then pushing like 40, 50. That's going to bring a lot of people to be like, I want to see this fight. Who's he going to fight? That's going to bring back people to watch it. I think that's what they're going with. And I think this Tyson and Roy Jones was the testing ground. And bring back old fighters and let them fight. And bring up that popularity again, which to me makes me feel bad about the new generation who are trying to make a name of themselves.
Yeah, but then it's also like you're mocking your fans because you're like, oh well, we don't have any guys now that you care about, so like watch the guys from like 20 years ago fight. It's fun.
Yeah.
So
I think they're just trying to bank on nostalgia.
Right.
The same way how they say nostalgia sells amongst millennials.
Mm-hmm.
If you make a product that millennials grew up with in the 90s and early 2000s and re-release it now, those millennials who were kids grow up with expendable income will now rebuy that product because it reminded them when they were kids.
100%.
It reminded them of something of a simpler time. Same thing goes with boxing. With boxing fans, no matter how old these boxing fans are, it'll remind them, oh man, Mike Tyson's gonna fight again. I haven't seen Iron Mike in the ring in so long. The last time I seen Mike Tyson fight, I was like 9 years old. No, I was about, his last fight was 2005. But no, the last fight I saw Mike Tyson was Evander Holyfield, which was, I think, 01.
His ear? You saw the ear?
The ear. I saw all that. I watched that fight, and I'll never forget, like, my entire family we were at my uncle's house. It was like 20, 30 plus people, and we're watching in a small ass tube TV. I think the biggest tube TV at the time was like a 32-inch, and we're all glued to the TV watching them just throw hands. And then now to hear him fighting again, I was like, hell yeah, I want to watch this fight. I haven't seen Mike fought since Holyfield, so it's just like cool. But then watching it and then laughing at the ringside, especially with Snoop Dogg's commentary. Mark, please, if you ever have a chance, like just go to YouTube, watch the fight, and listen to Snoop Dogg's commentary. That was by far superb.
It's hilarious, man.
But how do you take an organization like that seriously? Like I could just be like, D, let's fight, and like we're gonna put it on YouTube, and like we'll go to the World Boxing Commission, and we'll get all the rules and make it legit. And it just seems like it's a joke. It's all a joke to like, but
But
it's
people
like
violence, dude.
but
No
what's
matter
the
what.
point? But what's the point of do you want them to pay the $50 to see it? Do you want nobody's going out and buying like T-shirts, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's
Right.
the problem. Is like there's no really way to monetize fighting other than you pay for it, you watch it, tweet about it. That's it.
I guess so, but I do want to definitely bring up a point that I'm just kind of really thinking about it. So some of the MMA fighters, they really don't make much money, but when they cross over to boxing, like for example, when Conor McGregor decided to fight Mayweather, that was his big break where he was able to make over $100 million with one fight. So it looks like the audience is actually there because it had to be tickets sold in order for him to make, 100 million, especially Mayweather with making multiple hundreds of millions of dollars from that one fight. So maybe there are a lot of fans, but maybe they're just not really, maybe they just don't talk much or they're not really on social media or anything like that.
I think you might be right, D.
It goes back to, marketing for boxing is kind of difficult in terms of, not marketing, monetization is kind of difficult for boxing because you don't see Mayweather or other people coming out with different what you call it? Oh my god, everything's ringing.
Yeah.
You don't see these guys coming out with like shirts, hats, and things like that. But they make a lot of money with just the fights and the name itself. Like Mayweather, that name right there will generate millions.
Right.
And the fact that these fights are constantly in LA, in Las Vegas, MGM, it's just like, one, you're gonna have thousands of people in that stadium watching this fight. You're gonna have millions across the world, especially if it's an international fight like Mayweather versus Pacquiao. You're gonna have now you not that you just have most of America. Now you got international mofos watching this,
Right.
and that brings in a lot of money. What's the point of selling t-shirts and hats? You know who's selling t-shirts and hats? Your homie across the street trying to make a buck.
Well, it's funny because you go to Vegas anytime during like a fight weekend, and it's like they have a shirt of that fight of just like the playbill, but it's like, who's gonna buy that? But people do because like they wouldn't do it if people didn't buy them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And and plus, I think that there's a lot of gambling associated with boxing as well. So I think that maybe they may not be pure aficionados of boxing, but a lot of people like to bet on these fights because they make fortunes. Well, I don't know if they necessarily make fortunes, but it seems like people make enough to really keep on going.
Well, I know, like, what I know about the money line, it's one of those things where it's very like, it's very lucrative because it's never straight up. It's not like you bet $1, you win $1. It's always like, it's points, right? Based on popular opinion and unpopular opinion. Like all the money that was on Conor McGregor, I know actually made him a favorite at one point because everybody was like so excited to see him. But then like, experts chimed in and they got on ESPN and they're like, wait a minute, guys, like he's never been in a boxing match before. Like, does he know the rules? And it wasn't until then that, the money line it shifted back to Mayweather. So like, you're definitely right. I think people do like to, it's like a secondary market for sure. And not to mention all the bets with like people make with their buddies and like, the illegal gambling that happens too. So that motivates you to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it definitely generates a lot of money, even though it doesn't seem popular. Like we don't see a bunch of people. Well, at least I don't in my news feed on Facebook or anything, any social media site. I don't see a lot of people posting and talking about these boxing matches.
Right.
But somebody has to, if Mayweather's making 100 million to 300 million to fight, and all these other fighters are making that much money.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it's just like them betting on themselves or them knowing like, I know I can't beat this guy, so I'm gonna try my damnedest, but I feel I'm gonna lose. Let me go ahead and put $3,000 on this guy.
That's what Mayweather. They actually tried to stop Mayweather for betting betting on himself for winning against McGregor. All right, so here's was Mayweather's bet. He was going to bet like over $1 million. Say he was going to TKO Conor McGregor in the 7th round. How specific is that?
That's very mafia specific.
But they didn't let him, and so he had to have someone from his party, like a promoter, do it. And he was like, "Isn't that more shady? If somebody from my promotion does it, like I'm telling you, like I'm placing the bet."
Right. And you want to know what else is a bit more shadier about that? Mayweather TKO Conor McGregor in the 7th round.
That's wild. I think what people underestimate about Floyd Mayweather is that like he knows the game, like not the sport of boxing, but the game. I mean, like the rules, the officials, the people. Like, you know, he's so connected into that industry, and he knows like what the judges are going to do and what they're looking for. So he just basically has to tailor his performance to win for those judges and those people in that time. And then, you know, I'm sure the betting he has fun with that, because like when he did that, I'm sure it just made him even more money, because people were like, oh, I gotta see this guy lose a shit ton of money.
Yep.
All right. And that's why a lot of people bet against Mayweather. A lot of people that go in the fight, watching him fight, they're not there to see him win. They're just hoping that he lose.
And that's all I was going with.
He talked too much crap. Yeah, just like what you were saying. Sometimes you have to create a base of people that hate you, so they could keep on, you know, constantly seeing your fights to try to hope that you lose. But what they don't know is you're paying this person.
Yeah. And that's what it was. Like everybody like building up this hater base, you could say, not even a fan base, and they're gonna watch it. And even if you put somebody who's, you know, a potential like this guy has potential to be a great, he's young, he could definitely take out Mayweather. And then next thing you know, Mayweather knocks him the hell out. Or knocks him down, or TKO, or whatever, or wins by you know, judge's decision. And it's just like, damn it, he pisses off a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, like there was a fight where he fought Canelo when he was first coming out. He was a young superstar, and a lot of the fans of boxing were saying that Mayweather is too scared to fight Canelo because Canelo hits hard. He's been knocking people out and he's young. So he challenges him. Mayweather accepts the challenge, and he beats up on him for like 12 rounds. He just keep beating up on him. There was even a point where people don't really want to give props to Mayweather, but you can see that Canelo was, once he started getting lit up, he started to back up and he started becoming hesitant. And in those scenarios, people become hesitant because those punches hurt. So it's kind of like you're a little fearful, or you're like extra cautious to come in because he was getting hit with stuff that he didn't like or that he didn't anticipate. So Mayweather wins.
Don't sleep on Mayweather. He knows what that skinny kid knows what he's doing.
Right. Then once he undecidedly beat him, I don't know anybody that's seen the fight that said that Mayweather lost that fight. I'm pretty sure he got like over 100 million for that fight, so I'm guessing he's not tripping.
Yeah. Do you guys know why they get so much money?
To be honest,
is it because they get their skull cracked in?
No, I think it has a lot to do with like pay-per-view buys and A side, B side stuff like that. I
Yeah,
think it's based.
I
Yeah,
know it's based on like revenue and how much they bring in, but like why do they get such a big payday for one night? It's like that's a crazy income gap,
yeah, it is. For somebody to have one fight and then make 400 million.
Right.
But boxing used to be very dangerous. People used to die in that sport.
That's true.
There was that one boxer. What was that old story? He was an openly gay boxer, and his opponent kept poking fun and just straight being a total dick, and he literally killed them in the ring.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it wasn't even intent. There was
He
another
Apollo
boxer who had a
created him.
dream. Who?
He Apollo created him.
Right.
And there was another boxer who had a dream that he was scared to fight because he had a dream that he killed his opponent. And sure enough, he knocked him out. And when they checked him, Buddy was dead.
Mm-hmm.
That's what was it, the story? I was listening to the story about Joe Rogan. He started off his fight career in his youth, and he knocked this guy out, his opponent out so bad that he knocked out and started to I think wanted to got a seizure,
Mm-hmm.
and then didn't get back up, and he was looking for guidance, and he was talking to his teacher, and his teacher straight says it was a older Korean guy who taught him Taekwondo and told him like sometimes they do that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Joe Rogan just stopped with fighting.
Yeah. And
That's
getting
the
knocked
day?
out isn't fine.
That's the day Joe Rogan quit.
Yeah, he said he stopped fighting. When he was, and that's when I forgot who was talking to him. I think it was Joey Diaz, and Joey told him like, and that you went to comedy, like does that make you? He goes, no, I was always funny. Like all of his friends being around, he was always a jokester. Even in in class, he would always joke around, say stupid things, try to even make his teacher laugh. But then that was a day when that happened that he almost killed somebody. He didn't kill him, but he came back up. But that was the day he stopped with the fighting and just went hardcore comedy. And then from there, podcasting.
Well, he always bet on. I don't know if it was on the podcast we talked about. He just. Oh no, it was with a different person. He always bet on things that were new, and it just paid out for him with the MMA and podcasting, and even Fear Factor. He was like, I think he was like one of the last guys they looked at, but they were like, yeah, we need a guy, and none of them else worked out. He's like, yeah, I'll do it, and it literally became one of the most successful reality TV shows, like when reality TV was like first coming out.
Mm-hmm.
But I found the answer, at least the internet answer, for why boxers are worth it. So from the economics perspective, they're worth it, right? So you think about someone like, the example they give is the Texas Rangers signed A-Rod for $25 million a few years, like a long time ago. And he became the highest paid baseball player. And the reason that the Texas Rangers justified it was that he sells in an extra 10,000 season tickets every year. They have 10,000 more tickets with A-Rod. $35 a game, 82 games. They get an extra $28.7 million in new money every year just from having A-Rod on the field. Doesn't even matter what he does. So if it's worth it to somebody, then people will pay to see it. So you see a name like Manny Pacquiao, you see a name like Floyd Mayweather, people are going to pay no matter who they're fighting, where it is, what the context is. They could be in some Vietnam like little village in a sand pit, and people will pay to see that fight.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy if you think about it, because just to think about all the excess money there is, and we just shell it out for sports.
Because there's always money to do something.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
There's always money to do something.
Like Chicago's constantly saying we're broke, but then they'll find, oh, we just mysteriously found $3 million.
Right.
This is gonna go to help renovate parks on the north side.
All right, so we'll change the moral dilemma. $25 million, D. You got to fight Jake Paul. You in or you out?
Man, 25 million win or lose?
Yeah, guaranteed.
Yeah, I'm down.
You don't care that he can beat your skull in?
Who cares? For 25 million, you'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
I'll just
You can
pass
heal.
out before
you
you
can
even
heal
hit
for
me.
25 million. Right. You can just pass out. You can always quit. It's not like they can't stop you from quitting.
I love your I love your attitude.
And man, that's what it's all about.
To be honest,
Marc.
if that was the case for me, I would
Mhm.
literally train my ass off just to make it a decent fight and prove my work, even if I do get knocked out.
That's good.
Yeah,
I
you're
was
gonna
good
take
training too.
the moral high ground. Anybody who thinks boxers are overpaid has never been punched in the face.
This
That's
is true.
That's what I'm saying.
Who in here could say they've been punched in the face?
I have. I used to do boxing and kickboxing.
I
I haven't
have.
been knocked out before.
I have.
Wait, D, why did you quit?
Well, it was a money thing. It's super expensive.
Yeah. So
I was gonna
okay,
say you
maybe
get
it
too
is worth it
overpaid.
then if you make it all the way. You know.
And not really. I mean, you take on a lot of injuries and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's very dangerous for your health. Like if you look at Muhammad Ali right now, he had it's a lot of things that went on with him because he took a lot of shots and blows to the head. So that stuff, those injuries, it adds up. And even though we have like younger bodies and stuff like that, what ends up happening is, I mean, your body's gonna give away on you at some point.
You feel the effect later.
All right.
It's like with athletes, like there's always a career-ending injury. For example, football players, soccer players, and basketball players. Injuries to the legs are usually career killers.
Yeah.
You could break an arm, you could dislocate
ACL.
a shoulder, maybe crack a rib, you'll be fine. But major damage to your legs is career enders right there.
Yeah.
Where in boxing, even in football, concussions and are career enders as well.
Right.
Because now you're a risk to your team or your promoter.
Right.
Right. Yeah, because that fighting stuff ain't nothing to play with, especially like being knocked out. Like my experience from that is, so it was actually a girl that kicked me in the head and I was knocked out. And yeah, but you laugh, but she's a bad motherfucker. So.
I believe you. I believe you.
I was at
But-
Go ahead, finish your story. I'm sorry.
But I don't even remember the kick that actually knocked me out. So when you get knocked out, you don't remember. Sometimes you don't remember the actual event. Sometimes your brain does this thing of kind of like editing it out. So when I woke up, I only remembered the bus ride up there. I never remembered like putting on my gloves and stuff like that. So each time you get knocked out, it's kind of like that. It's like you don't remember the event.
And I could agree with them. Back when I was younger, I was at a barbecue. One of my father's friends, it was his friend's barbecue, and they had gloves. So all the kids, since all of us were about the same age, were all fighting. I was literally getting a little ballsy because I was beating everybody. And then there was this one girl who wanted to fight me. I didn't want to fight her because, bro, no, I didn't get knocked out by a girl. But check this out. I dazed her. Because, bro, she hit me kind of hard. I was fighting all these other guys who were my age, and I was, putting them on their asses. I wasn't knocking nobody out. I was just hurting them. I punched this one kid in his stomach. He gave out. It's done. Punched this other kid in the face. He kind of got dazed and was just like, I'm done. And now it's just me and her. And every time she threw a punch at me, I was punching her punches, just like trying to show her, like, please, I don't really want to hurt you. Then she faked the throw, she faked the jab and got me. And I was like, oh, this is what we're doing.
Mhm.
I didn't hold back. I went, pa! All my might. Pa! Not even all my might. It dazed her and she fell. She fell on her ass and she was just like trying to like wake up from it. She got up, she was fine, and she even quit. Now they're putting me against this other guy who's a bit older. That one right there was the knockout. We threw a couple jabs. He kind of hit me, I guess, testing the waters and was getting me angry because he was hitting my face pretty damn good. And then finally, what pissed him off was I got him in his kidney, but because I left myself open, he knocked me out. Like literally. I don't remember where the fist came from. I just remember hit him in the kidney, and then my father waking me up. That's all I remember.
No joke.
I don't remember the punch at all. I just remember kidney, and then everything went blank. And my father, because it was an empty pool. That was our boxing ring. It was an empty pool that had sand on the bottom. My father's in there waking me up, and everybody's laughing. And after that, a lot of people were just giving me props because it was like, you were holding yourself against this guy who's actually an amateur boxer. This kid who's actually an amateur boxer. I was like, what the fuck? Literally, my father, because of that, my father wanted me to go into boxing. But because of that knockout, I was like, nah, I'm good.
Because in boxing, dude, like people think that it's super easy to like just go into the ring and like all you gotta do is just dodge right, dodge left, and sway. It's a lot harder than you think.
Yeah, until you get hit by something that you don't remember getting hit by.
And to be honest, it's even hard to hit like somebody that's at like an amateur level too. Somebody that's really, really good because they kind of know your range and your motions and stuff like that. So they know how to get out of the way and stuff like that. Like it's tough. It's not like an easy task.
No,
I was like, Mark, like if you throw some punches at Mayweather, he's prepared. I doubt if you would hit Mayweather, Mark. That's how good he is.
You think he's just he's just always on, like he's going to the grocery store and he's like, whoa.
Yeah, because hey, T.I. swung on him.
Right.
D, you remember that?
Yeah.
T.I. Motherfucking T.I. swung at Mayweather. Bro, this man fights for a living. You rap. There's a difference, bro. You want to hurt him? Shoot him. He ain't dodge a bullet. But you threw a fist at him.
Wait,
and all you see is,
was it in Treasure Island or
no? It was at a nightclub. What happened was T.I. is good friends. I mean, T.I. Mayweather is good friends with T.I.'s, I think, wife or baby mama, either or. But T.I. still keeps in contact with her. There was some drama going on. T.I. saw him at the club, and I guess alcohol courage kicked in that he swung at Mayweather. Of course, this man dodged it. Because, like you said, Mark, he's on. He's always on. And his bodyguards grabbed him. The reason why boxers have bodyguards is to protect you from him because his hands are registered weapons.
All right. Oh, let me break that myth because it's
Joseph Harris Jr. Man, what a fall from grace.
Well, registered weapons.
Yes,
I just use that, as the phrase. I know it's a bullshit. I know it's bullshit. But I just use it as a phrase because you're a trained boxer. You know how to fucking knock people out or basically kill them in one hit.
D, hold on. You kind of look like Floyd Mayweather, not gonna lie.
Yeah, man.
I think you guys could, like, if you were in a family photo, I'd be like, yeah, they could be brothers.
Yeah.
Really?
My brother.
I thought you kind of looked like the guy from Aquaman that died. The father.
Oh my God! Let me look at the guy from Aquaman.
Just look up Black Manta's father, and you were the first person that popped in my head.
That's racist. I want to throw that out there.
Ooh, side note. Side note, here's the news. We can end with this. The white guys are coming back.
Uh-oh.
So there's been talks after the win for Jake Paul that him and Conor McGregor in a boxing match, would bring in a lot of money. What are your thoughts? And we'll wrap it up here. Would you watch it? We'll start there for the two of you.
Sure, I'll watch Undefeated world legend Jake Paul fight McGregor. I'll watch it.
Conor McGregor in boxing, I think he learned his lesson with Mayweather, so I feel like Jake Paul might not be able to stand his own because he's actually fighting against a professional fighter.
But you would watch it.
I will possibly watch it. I'll probably just go to D's house and watch it. Let him spend the money.
Wait, who's the older one, Logan or Jake?
Logan. Logan's the older brother.
Logan's just he retired. He's like the weirdo now.
No, recently I heard that he was out here trying to challenge Floyd.
Yikes.
Good luck, pal.
He's 1-0 too. Oh no, he's 0-1.
Who?
Jake Paul. Or Logan Paul, sorry. Jake Paul's 2-0.
Yeah, Jake Paul's 2-0. He beat up two people.
And
Which is why.
No, Logan
go
won
ahead.
a fight. He won against KSI the first match and then lost the rematch.
Ah, okay.
Are you talking about Logan or Jake?
Logan, that's weird. Logan won against KSI the first match, and the rematch he lost. It was kind of funny because the first match they all had protected gear, and KSI's younger brother was able to make Jake Paul bleed. And then the rematch for Logan and KSI, they didn't have any protected gear, and KSI won.
Oh, but so the first one though was like, it was just a amateur. It was just like it didn't count, I guess, for his professional career. So technically, he's 1-0.
Yeah, and if anybody could go on like my Facebook, even before the fight match, you could timestamp it. I told y'all, Jake Paul is not to be underestimated.
Hey,
coming in this fight, like
all I gotta say is
play with him.
That man Jake was able to, looking at his stance and the way he was fighting, it was like this. He's taking boxing serious. This is him not making it into a joke or a mockery. He's actually taking it serious. Where Nate Robinson kept charging at him like a football player or like an MMA, like just like sweep the legs.
Terrible strategy. That was horrible.
Terrible strategy.
He lost.
Is he are you talking about the basketball player, right? The old basketball.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, they were like he was jumping sports, like he was playing basketball, football, and something else.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And Mark, here's his strategy. I'm going to have my head down. I'm just going to rush into you. I'm just going to throw my body into you, then weld my arms. That was his strategy during the entire fight.
What a fall from grace from the 2009-2010 slam dunk champion.
But I don't necessarily blame him all the way. It looks like they didn't teach him how to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was way in over his head.
Yeah.
Especially.
Also, let's talk about this. Nate Robinson is 36. Fighting a guy 13 years older than you. That's insane.
But then again, he probably thought old man strength would kick in. Old man strength is a thing. I'm calling it.
But yeah, he
has old man strength already.
I am pretty damn strong, to be honest. It's like when I turned 31, I just got stronger for no reason.
Why am I able to lift up this marble table with this one arm? Wow.
Dude, it was a time where I wasn't able to do like one pull-up. When I hit like 31, I just kind of got my bar and just started lifting because I normally do chin-ups and not pull-ups. Then I did 15 pull-ups. I was like, yo, where did this strength come from? That old man strength.
That's those. Oh, you sure about that, or is it those lonely nights strength?
For both arms, so both arms I'll be able to do a pull up.
Hey man, both. Sometimes you gotta switch arms, bro. You know, one arm gets tired, you go to the other arm. You just keep going.
Pull up motion. That's terrible.
Next, you know, when you pull yourself up on that bar, you're just like, wow, where the hell did this come from? And ladies and gentlemen, now you know.
Thank you for listening to Incompetent Nerds.
Oh, that's so funny.
Incompetent Nerds is sponsored by Shop Valerio, an online watch and sunglasses provider for men and women that ships worldwide. Use code MARC25 at checkout for 25% off your order. That's shopvalerio.com, SHOPVALERIO.com, and use code MARC25, that's MARC.25 at checkout. Thanks for listening.